Yes, we were talking about Senlin Ma and her arms. Um, but also talking about Namboku, who also
Yes.
has arms.
Good
Are they
segue.
the same person? You've never seen them in the same room together.
Whoa.
Sada looks at Namboku with disgust. Says, "Were it not for the laws of this land, I would slay you where you sit."
I mean, yeah, you try, but those are the laws of this land. So, and then he just sort of shrugs nonchalantly. I mean, if you want to get murdered by the palace guard, by all means.
Why are you
I
here?
promise you I will survive. I'm here because of the reason you already noted. There is no fighting within the walls of the palace. There's no violence, save what the guards can do.
But why would they let you in here?
I've reformed. After being chased around half the world by your friend and mine, the monster girl with the gigantic sword, I found my way into tea and managed to convince the good chancellor here that I just need the opportunity to turn my life around, survive with my condition in a productive way.
Who's with me again? Asai and
Currently,
Kazumi?
Sada, you
Yeah.
are accompanied by Pao and Kasumi.
Oh, just Pal Kasumi?
No,
Okay.
no,
Pow
not
is
Pal.
No,
eating
Pao
Oh,
is
scallion
Asai. It's
pancakes.
Asai, right?
yes, scallion pancakes. Right. So it's Sada, Kasumi, and Asai.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm gonna roll this just cause, but Asai is gonna do a much better job than me.
Let me click a button. 1 second. I was taking notes. Sense motive. Boop.
Oh,
Cells?
1 sec.
Okay. Oh.
even it seems like he's telling the truth. I don't believe him.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's lying. You're good. Continue as you were, Sada.
I don't know where to continue to.
I don't know.
Did you do something to Suru?
I left her outside. She was more the person doing things to me, to be honest, over the last few months.
Yeah, because
Hey, I'll be right back. I'm so sorry.
Oh.
Okay.
yes, because you're a vampire who's killed numerous people and tried to kill a bunch of kids to steal their elemental powers.
One of the concubines with Namboku looks up at him. Is that true? Namboku looks at her meaningfully and goes, "No." At which point her eyes sort of glaze over and she goes, "Oh, all right."
Mm.
Well, I guess the question is, what are you going to do about it?
I am going to go talk to someone and say some very stern words about you. And then she slams the door.
Okay. Have fun writing your sternly worded letter.
Now that I have seen him, I could probably locate him if I really wanted to. Just in case he tries to run.
Hmm.
1
True.
second. I have too many tabs open and I'm getting lost. And we should wait for Kazumi anyway.
What's Pal up to? Well, we're waiting for Drake to get back.
Yes,
Chinese
what is
food.
Pow up to? I mean, it's Pow with Pascal, Akio, Batfire, and Dottore Clemenza. And Gadaris in a room with a lot of Chinese food.
What's Chinese? Don't you mean
Uh,
Tianese?
It's all really excellent.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, then. Good to know.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I wasn't planning on the precise RP of Pow eating dinner.
Oh, you
Uh,
don't have to. How enjoys dinner.
Yay! Oops, almost knocked my my notebook off the table. Okay, Pow, is there anything you would care to do whilst enjoying dinner?
Um, no, I don't, because I don't think we're. It's just the rest of the party eating. It's not like we're not with the dragons or anything. So no,
Nope, it's just the rest of
and
the party.
yeah, she doesn't know anything is wrong, so she just thinks about, oh, I wonder where those dingleberries went. They should be eating this good food. They're missing out. Yum yum yum.
So I apologize for leaving so suddenly. Turns out it's not just it wasn't just one lightning
Oh.
strike. We're in a full-on thunderstorm right now.
Nice.
Cool.
Couple strikes were less than a mile from the house, so that's fun.
Ooh.
Mm.
Like that kind where it sounds like, a gun is being fired across the street from you.
When the
Uh-huh.
thunder's immediate and
Yeah.
to the flash. That happened to
Yep.
me the other day. It was like a few blocks away, actually.
Yeah.
I was stopped at a crosswalk or a intersection, pulling away from my oral surgeon's office, and one light went off right in front of me. Saw the whole like arc and everything. Very cool, actually.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm pulling up our local radar right now. Yeah, it's just a really small but very aggressive band.
mm,
Wild. Okay. Well, it's on for now.
All right.
well, hopefully it'll go. You're in the Tampa area, right?
Yup.
Okay, so it's just like a thing that's like, oh yeah, I see it. It's sort of just like appeared above you, actually. It's
Yeah,
kind of
it
funny.
like out of fucking nowhere. Like it was very
Hello.
normal. Yeah, it's all like
Cool. But I guess living on a western coastline, that probably happens fairly regularly, since that's predominant winds are going to carry it into the land where the moist, warm air above the ocean hits the cooler, drier air above
Mhm.
the land and releases
yeah.
its precipitate.
Yes.
Damn, professor.
I paid attention in their science. Anyway,
Anyway,
Sada, you just slammed the door on Nemboku,
yes.
who seems rather okay with that.
Mhm.
You are now standing outside with with Namboku, with Asai and Kasumi. What do the three of you do?
Uh,
Well, we can't directly kick its ass right now. Let's go find the.
hang on.
What?
Hang on. I open the door. Damboku.
Hmm?
Go fuck yourself. I close the door.
Do it yourself, you coward.
Hang on.
Got you.
I need to roll a will save,
Oh my god.
No, you don't.
but I am.
Well, you rolled a 30.
Oh,
Congratulations.
okay, I'm good. I'm good. All right. I take a deep breath. I center myself and I walk away.
So, does Asai know who Namboku is?
We can tell you.
I
I
mean, there was
think
a whole.
Aside does.
Oh,
Yeah, because I know
there was a
Asai
whole.
and Suru had a backstory
Mhm.
together.
There was a whole kerfuffle whenever Namboku was first doing shit, and he was like trying to capture kids who we had hidden inside the fucking church.
Yeah.
So if
Ah.
you
Mhm.
like, even if you hadn't had like a direct conversation, you probably would have had some knowledge of like the sitch.
Okay.
He's also currently mind controlling concubines.
Fun.
Yeah.
Not just a
For
little
fun.
odd memory erasure.
Super fun.
What's a few erased memories between friends?
Mm.
Mm,
All right. So what's the?
Oh shit! Sorry, I don't know if you guys heard that, but it was very loud.
You getting struck by lightning?
Yes.
No, but the strike that was within a mile.
Cool.
Poor Takeo is all on edge. It's okay, buddy.
What's the name of the golden dragon who was a nerd but then got anchor arms?
I have it written down. Is that one Zhao? Zhao?
That is Zhao.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go. We should go find Zhao and see if we can tell him about Namboku and see if we can do something about this.
Sir, please.
Please, he's an evil vampire who tried to eat kids.
All right. You begin to walk away, leading yourself back, turning and beginning to walk around the corridors. But very quickly, you are actually stopped.
Oh no.
In front of you stands a man. In front of you stands a man.
Oh shit, a man.
Disgusting.
In front of you stands a man.
What kind of man?
A man dressed in the uniform of the bureaucrats of tea. You haven't learned what exactly the various badges mean yet, but he has the same animal motif upon it, the same sort of round hat. Though you note that his robes are a bit more blue azure than red or gold or what other colors there are. He is also flanked by a pair of soldiers, you suspect, two armed men who actually are not just men, but gillmen. Their skin having a sort of grayish bluish color, and their azure uniforms and armor having space for fins upon their calves their calves and forearms to poke out, as well as the ones on the sides of their heads. The human, a sort of tall, sort of fit-looking individual with a drooping mustache, um, middle-aged, with a stony expression, uh, looks at you after you stop and after a beat simply says, "You should come with us."
What?
Okay.
Okay.
I assume comes from our new favorite dragon. So I'm
Let's
going.
go. Let's go. But I'm keeping an eye on them in case they try anything.
The soldiers, as they turn around, you can see that they actually don't have weapons at their hips, but rather on their backs a pair of um, sword, a pair of sword grips poke out from behind a large round shield with the stylized image of a fish upon it in gold on blue, which which seemed to indicate that a size suggestion is correct. As they begin leading you along the corridors, taking a slightly different route than you did before, uh, although to be honest, trying to remember what lefts and rights you took in these circuitous corridors can be a little difficult. The first man, the bureaucrat, the magistrate, turns back to you for a moment and goes, "Is there anyone else you would like us to collect that you might need for a conversation of importance?"
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Then we will head back to your chambers first.
All right.
Please follow me.
I need to write all the big dragons' names on a post-it so that I don't have to check my notes all the time.
Pow!
Mhm.
It's not too long thereafter that you hear a knock on the door and are confronted by these same individuals leading Kasumi, Asai, and Sada along.
Ominous. We can hear the thunder now. It's very cool.
Yeah, I
Mm,
turned
Uh,
off noise suppression.
it's atmospheric.
I just
yeah.
wanted you guys to hear
Oh,
it.
speaking of atmospheric, I should have the
Oh,
music on. Um, these are your party, Sadaryudo.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Would you like to take all of them or some?
Who's left in here?
Basically everybody.
Pau, Akio, Bapair, Gadaris, Pascal, and
Vittoria
Clemenza,
Clemenza.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess let's bring them all.
The magistrate sort of frowns slightly, but doesn't say anything. Rita, your mic
oh,
is constantly like whenever you're quiet for a bit, it starts starting
oh,
to static.
interesting. Okay, I will
Actually,
mute
I
myself.
guess instead of bringing them all, let's just bring Pau, just to keep things simple.
Okay.
And if something goes wrong, then we can rely on Akio to save us.
Exactly. He can do the Dragon Age thing.
Yes, in his own very incompetent but competent way.
Yes, he can do the
Yes.
Zavran and Ogren thing where they pretended to be brothers.
Or he
Um,
does that thing from Monty Python where he thinks there's trouble and he goes and like just ruins a fucking wedding. You know.
Are they having a wedding?
Yes.
you kicked the bride in the chest. Anyway, you are then led away from your bedroom suite, your many chambers, and led out through the corridors and eventually out through a door, heading out of the central Golden Palace and southerly towards one of the four more directional palaces. From ahead of you is the large coned roof, a conical roof of the great circular building you saw from out. You saw
Ow.
from cuticle. Sorry. You saw from the air looming and somewhat ominous. It's not exactly as beautiful a structure as the rest of the palace. Well, that isn't entirely true. It is quite it is quite beautiful in its own way. It has been filigreed. It has filigreed columns, long ornamented uh, uh, long golden ornamentations going up uh, the roof up to its point at even intervals.
I'll be right back. Somebody's knocking my door. What the fuck?
Ooh, the pillars that surround it are of a deep blue color that has a almost unnatural depth to it. Like you could staring at it, even though it's just like it's a featureless blue, but you could just sort of almost feel yourself falling into it. Um, with the occasional green or gold ornamentation. But that is all to say that all of that beauty is like a tremendous amount of it would be a similar thing if you were to put a tremendous amount of beauteous, immaculate ornamentation on a blunt weapon, like an exceptionally pulchritudinous hammer. The gates uh, of this palace are guarded by two similarly armed and armored gillmen. Their hands clasped behind
All right,
uh,
back.
their backs, their blades poking the handles of their blades poking out above their shoulders. And as you approach, one of them just shifts slightly, knocks on the door twice before returning to his uh, position, and the doors open for you, allowing you inside with your escort. The palace that you enter into is unusual in that this is not so much a palace as a gigantic indoor pool.
Sick.
There
Hmm.
are no rooms in the vast main building that you can see, although you do see that there are other doors leading off, and you did see some attached buildings to it. So there is presumably space for living and other things in this building, but this main chamber is about, you'd say, um, must be about 300 feet in diameter, and the majority of it is taken up by a perfectly circular pool of water. Um, its central portion uh, unable to be seen by you as it goes as it begins to deepen quite rapidly, it seems. Um, it is now about, let me see, you arrived here in the absolute dawn. Right now, it's actually about midday. And through um, the uh, solar in the center of the roof, a shaft of light currently um, shooting down into the direct center of the pool, um, illuminating the entire chamber quite amply, despite the lack of torches or uh, such things. There isn't a lot. That's the second thing you notice. There is a very limited number of fires here, unlike most places where fire is still the primary source of light. In fact, there are none. Um, this light for now is being given by the sun, but other than that, as you're as you look around, you begin to notice that upon the pillars that support the roof as it that and lined the inner pool, there are, rather than sconces holding torches or braziers filled with coals, there are stones embedded in them that, while it's difficult to see in the direct sunlight, if you look at them on the shadowed sides of the pillars, you can see cast a sort of pale blue light. You are led forward uh, into the chamber to the edge of the pool, and also and onto a uh, area of the a sort of peninsula a semicircular jutting of the tile marble floors into the pool that extends about 30 feet. That is currently, or rather, not currently, but is set with a number of tables and chairs. Fairly comfortable. Fairly comfortable looking not accoutrements, but furniture. All of which has been painted or lacquered in the same blue and gold theme. The realm, or the person who rules the realm you have currently stepped into, is markedly obvious. As you are led onto this this peninsular seating area, the functionary and his two guards turn towards you, nod, and says, "Please wait here.
Mm.
Our lady will be with you shortly." And with that, he begins to walk away, leaving you, the four of you, to your own devices, and perhaps to explain what's going on to
I
the
mean,
one of you who has no idea.
oh yeah, pal, Namboku's here.
What?
Namboku's here. The
What?
vampire.
No, I know who he is. Why?
I don't know.
Oh,
High
okay.
note.
For how long has
Being
he
an
been here
asshole.
for?
Oh, I don't know, a while, it looks like. I didn't ask him, I just told him to fuck off.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
And then I'd kill him if I could. But I'm not allowed to.
that's showing a restraint that I am pleased with.
I mean, didn't he say he was here because he was hiding from Suru and no one can attack him here? And he convinced the Chamberlain, the Chancellor,
Chancellor,
convinced Chancellor that he needed a chance to change his ways, and now he sits here and consorts with concubines
Yeah.
where no one can touch him.
And does fucking brain magic on them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So on the upside, we know who authorized his entry.
Sure. We don't know if they know who he is. And he probably used spring magic on them. So
Oh, almost definitely.
it's a cool room.
Wait, isn't the Chancellor Zhao, or is there a human Chancellor? I thought there was like a Prime Chancellor, or there was the Emperor, and then there was the.
you have met Chancellor Zhao. He is a
He's the
dragon.
dragon.
You have not met Prime Minister He Zhu, the
Okay.
human head of government.
Okay.
Um, as
Anyway, I'm
you
guessing it's pretty obvious who's here. Who we're gonna meet with the big pool and all.
as you had finished your talking about Namboku, your any additional conversation is interrupted by when you notice that the water is beginning to overflow onto the peninsula of tile that you're standing upon. And why it's doing so is also pretty obvious. It's because there's a giant, the water is bulging upward and washing away from something coming up from underneath it. It is
Big dragon.
obvious
Yes.
as to whom now approaches. And if Senlin Ma is impressive in her human in her human form,
Human horn.
in her human form, as a dragon, she is downright terrifying. A massive head connected to a long neck that simply flows into the rest of her serpentine body, like gold dragons are wont to do. But she is large compared to Chuante Dun, whom you had thought to be rather terrifyingly huge himself. Senlin Ma is both broader and, but it appears to be simply from the size of her skull, larger in general. Most of her body remains hidden in the water, though the disturbance in the rest of the pool suggests that she likely extends rather deep into it. And even when her two massive forelimbs set up onto the peninsula and her head arcs above you, dripping down the water from which she emerged, you'd have to say that there's probably a Duante, judging from her proportions, there's probably a Duante Dunn's worth of body still under the water. You also notice that her golden crown is, in fact, her horns as a dragon. More or less identical. Only now growing directly out of her head instead of being attached to a piece of jewelry.
Does it look like the mini that you made, or do you imagine it different?
The horns?
Yeah.
No, I think those are actually pretty appropriate. She does not have the whole antler horns things. Her, like other golden dragons might, or some other golden dragons do, hers are more sleek and hydrodynamic.
Mm.
So you know this vampire then?
Yes. Also, hello. How'd you know we know?
Because I was listening to you. Also, you found him and had a reaction, and my men noticed that.
Oh, okay.
Why do you think they brought you here? You're not that
Uh,
interesting. I
I
hate to
shrugged.
tell you this. But the fact that you know this vampire is interesting.
Rather not know him.
I can understand the reason for
So your
that.
men happened to just be around right around the corner, or were they watching him? Or I don't know, man.
Of course you don't know.
I
I'm
don't
a
know.
dragon.
Yeah,
I'm like 80 steps ahead of you at all times.
true.
And yes, they were watching it.
Oh, okay.
Of course they were watching. It was a vampire in the Imperial Palace. You know the last time that's happened? The answer is never.
Ah, all right then.
I guess it makes sense that he wouldn't be able to like use mind tricks on you to trick you into thinking he's not a vampire. You are an incredibly
Imperious.
powerful dragon.
He could try, yeah. I
Yeah.
would step on him.
Yeah.
And then he'd turn into a ghost, and then I had to figure out how to kill
Yes.
that.
Oh man, what if we convince him to try?
Ah, if only.
But
Tell him
yes.
to try and Haizhong Mo first. I owe him one after that freaking jibe about my. I'm so pissed at freaking Zhao coming in at that moment because I had the perfect comeback. I was after he said that crack about a whale, I was gonna say, well, if I'm a whale, then you must be my fist, and then I was gonna punch out all his teeth.
That would have been a really good comeback.
Would have
Really
been.
good.
What?
Yeah.
The chamber visibly shakes. Some dust falls from the ceiling at the exclamation. No, I had to ruin it.
Anyway,
That's
yeah,
why I
no,
begrudge him.
Namboku is bad news.
What? Oh,
He's bad
yeah,
news.
right. The
He's very evil.
Empire.
Yeah, he tried to kill a bunch of kids last time we saw him because he was gonna drink
Oh,
their blood and steal their elemental juice. So it's a whole thing.
okay. Hold on. I might be too big right now to actually understand what you're saying. And with that, her body sort of glows a golden glow, and in a very strange sort of thing. It's sort of like out of the water. You see the water collapse into itself as her as the rest of her body disappears into her normal form, or not her normal form, into the human that you met before. All right, what was that about him having drinking the blood of children for elemental powers?
Yes, that
Also,
happened.
drinks, food. There's very rapidly a few servants bring out um, a few trays of various uh, things to eat and drink. Some actually a very various number of things to drink though. There's various wines, uh, rice and otherwise, harder liquors. You see what appears to be a couple of beers, and also teas and just water in a large decanter. I don't know what you all drink, so typically when I'm hosting, I just put out everything.
Okay.
Take what you want. I got the rest. Don't worry about it.
He also got control of the jade statue and
Ah, ah, bap, 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 bap.
okay.
I mean,
Ugh,
obviously now I'm going to ask about that.
no.
I
It's
figured she knew,
well,
considering she's an
that's
ancient
a lot.
dragon.
I understand, but also,
Yeah.
I don't know. Some secrets aren't yours to share, even if you think the other person knows what they are.
She's got a point.
Yeah. He did some evil shit. You can
Yeah.
ask him about the elemental stuff. I don't understand that. You can ask Kasumi about that. She knows the elemental stuff better than I do. I just have fire powers because of my dragon blood.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're descended from Dwante Dunn.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right. Interesting. Maybe one day one of my descendants will become a king. If they get off their asses. Anyway. So, you're this Kasumi person.
Yes. Hello. Hi. I bow to her.
Mm-hmm. Good. Sit down.
I sit very awkwardly.
So, what is this whole elemental thing? Why do you know about it? And what was he planning to do with these kids besides drink their blood?
Okay, so this whole elemental thing, you remember the whole when like 80 years ago when the Beast that Rise was defeated and all of a sudden some people could start manipulating the elements? Well, it turns out Niboku actually wanted to take some of that for himself because he's been around for a while because he's a vampire. Deep breath.
Mm-hmm.
And
I nod.
so, okay, sorry. So he found out that there were these four children who are essentially siblings, like adopted siblings. They He wanted to kidnap them, experiment on them, and try to find their, I guess, essence, and take that for himself to enhance himself to be able to manipulate elements, but multiple ones. And I know about that because I am one of those self same people who can manipulate stuff. I can use fire and water right now. It's very cool. I have a feeling with enough time and practice, I could learn a couple other ones. But
Comes the story about how Kasumi's a cool guy. I see.
I've got I have a
Brag to the
a
dragon.
modest
Hey.
monastery.
Oh my god!
Uh,
Stop bragging to the dragon. Kasumi, stay on
Kasumi
target.
just like dumps water from the sky onto Pow's head,
Oh my god.
and I'm working very hard. That's kind of it.
Okay.
You and Sada are like the TMI twins. Gotta rein it in.
No.
For
I
once.
appreciate the conceit, but I am like tremendously old, even besides the reincarnating thing, which I'm presuming you know about, and tell me
Yes.
if you don't, because if not, I'm going to have to kill you. But
No, yeah, we know.
Definitely
um,
don't.
okay, good. I didn't want to have to do that.
Yeah.
So
Hey, can we the one you done wouldn't tell us, but do you remember what it's like being a baby? Is it weird?
when I was first born, you mean?
Like every time you're born.
Oh. She puts one of her fingers to her lips, her eyes drifting off in thought. Most recently, yes, because I was essentially conscious immediately. Our growth is accelerated once we reincarnate, so that we become essentially an adult very rapidly and just sort of pick up where we left off.
Ah, okay.
So yes, I remember being tiny and weak. That didn't last too long, as you can see.
Mm-hmm.
She
No,
leans
it
back and
did not.
flexes.
Anyway, yeah, back to the important discussion.
Right. The
Yes.
vampire.
Yes.
So, what is your presumption that about what he's doing here?
Well, last we saw him, he was running from our friend Suru. We don't know where she is now, but
Who is Suru?
she's a very big lady. You'd probably like her. She's very big. She
She's
uses a giant sword. Has an eye
like a
patch.
Like that.
samurai berserker.
She died once. Then Crypta brought her back.
Yeah, she's a follower of Crypto.
That's pretty freaking impressive.
Oh yeah.
It's not every day that Crypto lets somebody go back personally. Usually it's the Gray Warriors. So your Suru friend doesn't speak?
No, she did. Or she did last we saw her. I don't know anymore.
Because
Maybe she
usually
lost
they
it.
don't. Okay,
But
interesting.
yeah, apparently, I think Namboku was something in her past, but so she was going after him for that, and also the whole being a gray warrior of Crypta and undead vampire evil thing. You know, double whammy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely want to murder, kill him to death.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So my best guess is that he's hiding out here, but I also don't really know.
Well, I don't like that. Nope.
No, it's not good.
It's not
Bad,
good
in fact.
at all. But I can't really do anything about it. Because he's under Zhao's protection. And I haven't really talked to Zhao about it, but I'm guessing that if he's brought him on board, then he should have a good reason for it. Zhao has a very, I mean, he's keener minded than me, or really any of us, when it comes to like dealing with people. To be honest, most of us, maybe except for maybe Feng Wu, but it's weird that he would bring a like literal undead monster into the palace. Did
Maybe.
Do you have any idea why? I know you spoke to the vampire briefly. Did he give you a reason?
He said he said he told the chancellor that I'm changing my ways. I just gotta have somebody be patient with me and have some time or some that kind of lines, some bullshit like that.
Is your brother that gullible, or does he hopeful maybe is the right word?
He's
Gullible.
not gullible. That was one of the last words I had applied to him.
Maybe he
But
wants him to eat somebody.
Oh, oh.
she looks at you with a bit
Uh,
of a little askance. No. That doesn't make any sense. Zhao is not that kind of dragon. Zhao isn't gullible, but he is optimistic about people sometimes. I think it's the only reason why he really survives in his job here.
Mm.
He doesn't let people bother him too much, and as a result, he can actually survive working with all these bureaucrats 24/7. Honestly, if I had to stick around in this palace, I would have brained one of them by now. Or multiple of them. Actually, I have.
Oh.
Past lives, not recently. She smiles. Oh, and there was that one guy that I ate.
I feel like you do that a
Anyway.
lot.
What?
Deontay Dunn was telling us about, like, you went to a bar and someone was rude and you ate him and...
Yeah, same guy.
Oh!
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really asshole bureaucrat. Just, thought he could mess with a dragon because I'm one of them nice dragons that protects the people.
Mm,
I'm one of those good dragons that protect people.
good and nice are different things.
You're
Got
both.
it.
Anyway, can we? Do you think we could convince Zhao if we tell him everything?
That's a good question. Zhao can be stubborn when he thinks he's doing the right thing. It's that whole true gold or red gold, crimson fire gold dragon bullshit thing. He gets it, or they really, all of them, they can get it in their heads that, no, what I am doing is just. They all sound like that when they're talking like that, by the way. And be like completely intractable until you like have to beat it out of them. And ordinarily I wouldn't mind doing that, but actually I'm not sure if I can take Xiao right now. He's really gotten into that fitness thing. I'm really happy for him. He's my little guy, my little brother. All grown up. Only took him like a dozen lives.
It's very sweet.
Hmm. And freaking Haijang Wo is now like officially smallest teeny mini baby dragon. Freaking jerk ass.
As he should be.
Can't believe he said that about me. I'm so
It really was uncalled for.
honestly, and like I'm fucking jacked. What the hell? It's like, yeah, I'm thick, but I'm in the water all the time. It's fucking cold down there.
Yep.
Meanwhile, he's a freaking woodland spaghetti.
You're way cooler than he is.
There is a knock on the door. Okay, this would be him now. The door opens, and a functionary dressed in green walks in. He moves past all of you and places a basket on the table next to Sunlin Ma. It is filled with a number of rare liquors and a bunch of gold and a small card which says in sort of big gold lettering, for you, sister. The servant bows. Senlin Ma waves him off and he exits. If you haven't guessed by now, we have something of a formalized relationship when it comes to our belligerence. He insults me. Typically, I deck him really hard, although thwarted this time. And then he sends a please don't think so ill of me, sister basket of admittedly good stuff. Still, that one really rankles me. I have an idea.
Is that Gadaris?
No, that was Senlin Ma.
Oh, okay. It had that sultry. Okay, continue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I kind of like I shifted Senlin Ma's voice up a little from when she was a dragon, and then I dropped back down into baritone again. Not sure because doing all these voices is hard, man. Okay. Cool. So, you all have a mission from me, the great Azure Dragon of the South, blah blah. I want you to figure out what Namboku wants here, because I kind of doubt that this megalomaniacal guy who would eat children for power and actually like figure out that he can do that is content just not hiding from some big lady with a sword inside the palace. That might involve you asking Zhao without asking him directly. So, snoop around. Talk to some dragons. Part 2 is that you're going to bring this basket back to Hai Zhangwo, and you're going to tell him that it's not fucking good enough this time. I want 2 baskets and a written apology. Or I'm going to come over there and I'm going to break his favorite tree.
Oh,
Nice.
This is not going to be good for our health. I think just
Oh,
being
it's gonna be
here
great.
has been side.
could we get that in writing so that we don't have to verbally threaten another big dragon? Because I feel like twice in one day is a bit much for us.
Well, I mean, we did piss him off pretty good before, so maybe we could do it again.
Yeah, you did. That was really funny. But, yeah. She pulls off she pulls off the note from the basket, flips it over, takes out a a small piece of stone from one of her pockets, which is apparently a stamp that she just slams um onto the note, causing the table to jump, and hands it over to you. And it says, for those of you who can read Tian, Senlin Ma. There. That's my stamp.
Okay.
I'm the only one who owns it, so it me.
If
You show him that, he knows you're working for me, and he'll show you all the deference that a messenger from his sister would be shown. Which means that he won't eat you,
Oh,
in all likelihood.
oh.
If you piss him off, like, separate from what I told you to do, then, I mean, and she just sort of holds her hands up. But only piss him off my uh on my behest. That's all on me. At this point, she grabs one of the bottles, pulls the cork out with her teeth, and chugs down a good amount of it before looking back at you and go, help yourself to whatever you want. I'm gonna just chill out for here till you're ready to leave. If you want to ask me any questions, feel free.
mm,
What's
1
your
second.
favorite food?
Favorite food?
Yeah.
Um, I don't want to answer that question on account of Hai Zhangwo's jibe earlier.
Oh, my husband's like a professional chef, and he's like the best on our island, and I was gonna
It is.
have him make your favorite food.
Excuse me. I think she means it is whale. Because remember, he said that she is what she eats, and she probably eats whale.
I didn't want to assume because that would be
She's a
rude.
giant sea dragon. She's probably eating whales.
I know, but it would be rude.
Let's go.
It is southern striped whale.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll get my husband to make something really good with it.
I mean, it'd be a little far from your island,
I'll bring him
and
here.
and I'll be honest, I don't typically eat them cooked.
Okay, that's fair.
But I'd be happy to see what he can do with it. Maybe a little steak.
Steak.
All right, let's go do some fact finding.
You do
Are
that.
we? Are we
Don't forget the
doing?
basket.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. With that, all right, you take the basket. Do you take any of the various comestibles that are available to you? Various drinks and foods?
Probably. They were offered.
They
Yeah.
are.
Take a little something something.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting looking bottle of something.
All right. You snag an interesting looking bottle of wine. You can put that into your inventory.
Ooh.
If anyone else would like to, by all means. Actually, Paulina, roll a perception check.
Okay. Oh man. Roll a 2.
You rolled a 2, but it's a 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just sort of grab a bottle of wine that you thought looked interesting and shove it in your bag. Don't really check it.
I wasn't gonna grab one, so I can't make a check. But now I'm curious.
Well, no, you can grab one too if you can make a check too if you want to grab one.
Okay. 1 second. Perception.
It's a basket wine of unknown origin.
Perception. 1 second. I'm trying to figure out what the components for scrying are, and it's giving me grief.
Usually a pool of water or a mirror.
Okay, so I can use or a mirror.
Yes.
Okay.
You find a bottle of wine as well. Only this bottle, you're not sure if the wine itself is just extremely dark colored and fills the bottle to the top, or if the bottle itself is a wholly opaque black. But it is basically just an inky bottle of apparently wine, stoppered with a golden stopper as opposed to a simple cork. It has a uh, it has a um, a label on it, but it's written in Elven. Do you read Elven?
I read everything
You read everything.
because I have the scholar's ring.
Ah, yes. But even the fact that this is ancient Elven, which
Ooh.
Sada, just being a speaker of Elven, would not be able to read. And Pau, because she can only speak languages, not read them. And Kasumi, because she doesn't know Elven at all. Asai,
Finger gun.
you are the only one who who recognizes what this is, or rather, or actually, to be quite honest, you don't recognize it. Um, you're not exactly an expert in wine, but you can at least read the label. Corvanome. Reserve. From the year 2384.
Oh my god, it's from the future.
That how that works?
Yes, but no.
Not quite.
And I make a history check.
Well, you could. Yes, you could. Or
Or
um,
just drink it.
you could just do math. For a second there, and you would note that
It's over 1,000 years old. Actually,
it's
no, it's way over.
way more than over 1,000 years old. This bottle of wine
8,000
is
something.
close to 7,700 years old.
So they're
Nice.
just vinegar at this point.
Yes.
You would think that it perhaps has no uh uh you're not sure what's in this bottle, frankly. Wine absolutely should no longer be drinkable at this state. To be honest, it shouldn't be a liquid anymore.
But else,
Any
though,
but as you pick it up, you do hear it slosh merrily inside, rather confirming that it is in fact a jet black bottle, as you cannot see the liquid itself. It's unopened, or at least does not appear to have been opened, and there is a wax seal around the stopper. If you would like to make a history check about the name Corvanome,
I
by
would.
all means. What?
Is that just knowledge history?
Yes.
Boop.
damn,
Eh,
that's a good roll.
That is a good roll. Corvanome. Actually, that name does come up to you. Although it's strange, certainly not associated with wine, and certainly not with a wine this old, but in distant Senahan, the island is, nominally at least, ruled by 5 powerful mages known as the Eternal Lords. And among those that number, you believe there is Emilius Corvanome. As you recall, the Eternal Lord of Eyes.
interesting.
That's something.
You apparently have wine, or whatever's in this bottle, related to him in some way. Or perhaps not to him, maybe maybe to one of his family members. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Hopefully, I don't sprout eyes all over my body.
That would be
Shit.
bad. Well,
Ominous one.
although at least one of you has experience with such a thing. Do you want the name or for spelling, or are you good?
Sure. Let's see if I spelled it correctly. Oh, I was close.
Did you write anime in there? 'Cause I would have. Corv anime.
I had an extra A, but other than that, I was correct.
Oh.
Thought I'd get some water.
Senlin Ma sees your choice and goes, "Good choice.
I don't know what I chose. I drink it.
It's water."
Hell yeah. This is the good water?
It's pretty good water, actually.
Hell yeah.
She nods approvingly at you.
All right, let's head
Okay.
out.
Are we
Right.
going on immediate pathfinding mission first because it takes an hour to cast scrying, and there's a convenient pool right here if I can use it.
I thought we were gonna go see
High jungle first? Okay,
Yeah.
let's do that. Let's go.
All right. So you take your leave of Senlenma and the palace of the Southern Dragon. The doors close behind you. The two Gilman guards nod at you, and you begin to make your way northwest towards the sort of rambling palatial estate that is that is seems to be mostly gardens. A number of tremendous trees um, arch out of it. Many of them. What month is it? It is autumn. Many of them having their leaves beginning to turn to vibrant golds and reds and purples. The uh, arboreal riots of color actually exceeding in beauty the constructed architecture of the green stone and golden ornamentation of the buildings built around them. And it seems into them. Or perhaps it would be better to say that the plants have grown into them, or perhaps they've been constructed in such a way that plant and building is really just two parts of the same structure.
Hmm.
Each building's walls at some point seems to just seamlessly meld into a tree trunk, or at others you see the branches of some new plant arching out from open windows or simply through holes left open in the tiled roofs. Small fountains dot the place, tiny little pools upon which lilies sit, with frogs croaking merrily and fishies floating through. The air is abuzz with insect life and the flapping of wings and the tweeting and song of many, many birds. From the way I worded that, it sounds that like they're both singing and tweeting as in Twitter.
Nice. Hell yeah, that's what they're doing now.
I mean, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh well. Moving along. You eventually make your way along a sort of rambling path that takes you into these gardens until you're not sure if you're actually in the palace or not. You never pass through a gate, although there are multiple arches, all of them clambered over by vines, many hanging uh, flowers and other plant life. Though most of the flowers don't seem to be in bloom right now. And instead, and while this garden no doubt is thick with the perfumey sense of all manner of flowering plants in the spring and summer, right now it's more of a crisp smell. The place here is alive. Maybe just getting ready to take a break. You are thus somewhat surprised when you turn a corner and find yourself in a large, airy area, a clearing in this forest of wood and stone, with a small waterfall pouring over a a green marble wall into a perfectly circular pool in the center, and then allowed to stream out along three gutters leading out beneath the surrounding walls to places unseen. And sitting next to it, on nothing more but a rock backed by a particularly gnarled looking tree, is a particularly gnarled looking dragon, currently in the form of a man. Hai Zhangwo's great triple beard bristles slightly as he looks up at you from the book that he's reading. His eyes narrow as he uh, acknowledges your presence. And after a moment, he goes, I have visitors. Kindly leave us. I should like to speak to them alone, please. At which point, several guards step out from behind. Let's go. um, excuse me.
This
Hai Zhangluo's pollen palace has gotten to me. Um, several guards step out from behind stone pillars, men in heavy suits of jade lacquered armor, armed with long lances, and they walk out through various doors, leaving you alone. Hai Zhangwo waits a beat before going, I meant all of you. At which point, a few uh, plants stand
Oh,
up,
all right.
revealing themselves to be leshies of various kinds, who very quickly make their way out in an almost embarrassed fashion.
Adorable.
And you,
Oh, and then
don't
we,
think
we
I
leave.
don't
We leave
notice.
as well.
No, no, not you. And you, don't think I don't notice you there. A mushroom looks out from behind a rock. Yes, go. No eavesdropping. The mushroom leshy clambers over the walk and just sort of trundles past you, giving you a slight wave as it waddles past and out into the gardens behind you.
amazing.
Beautiful.
Hmm, hmm.
The Lady of Surugu
That's
and
me.
the ladies of Surugu.
Mm-hmm.
I was not expecting you to come visit me at my lair, such as it is, my palace, my Humble abode. For what
King.
cause do I owe this delight?
We came to return this, the basket. I put it, and also deliver this message.
He frowns at the basket with amount of confusion before. What is this? Did you intercept my messenger?
No, we were there when it was delivered.
And it is being returned?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
It's in the message with her stamp.
I think we're supposed to tell the
We're
message.
yeah,
This
she just
is-
stamped it so that
This is
you'd know
sending
that
my
it's from us.
stamp. I understand. What message?
He said it will take 2 baskets to earn her forgiveness, and that if you don't do it, she'll eat one of your trees. I don't know, something like that.
And a written apology.
That too, yeah.
I think your words hurt her more than maybe you thought they would. Maybe your garden's very nice.
Senlin Ma's jade eyes look across each of you in turn before he sighs and closes the book, sets it aside, and standing to his full height, cracks the position out of his back before looking at you again and saying, "You all must be the worst messengers I have ever seen."
Yes,
Absolutely.
we're not messengers. I don't know why we're doing this.
Because a
Well,
dragon asked you to do it.
True.
Yeah.
2 baskets? Was there anything else?
Written apology.
A written apology?
Mm-hmm.
The baskets are an implicit apology. Why would I have to write out an additional apology?
because you care.
It's just inefficient. Waste of paper. All right, follow me. Follow me. Don't just
Okay.
stand there. And with that, he leads you deeper up to a sort of wall of tree that, at a wave of his hand, the trees themselves twist and bend to create a archway through which he strides, leading you into what appears to be a library grown out of the earth. Various trees and branches have been interwoven to form shelves and racks of sorts into which are stuffed all manner of books and scrolls, ledgers. You think there's a number of maps. There are a few comfortable tables and chairs. And as he leads you through this space, he returns to another clearing. And this one much wider than the one before. And upon its loamy floor is spread all manner of riches, gold and silver and jewels, but a fairly modest amount. But there is a tremendous number of books and scrolls and just all manner of writings stacked up along the sides and around it. Its heights enclosed from any who would look in by a tree canopy so dense that the light of the midday sun cannot penetrate it. And the only light provided to you is that of the numberless fireflies that dance their merry dance the heights above you, providing a light, while not like that of the sun, somewhat fairly equivalent to that of a torch throughout the chamber. Hai Zhangwo steps over to a desk and begins to write on a strip of paper that he pulls out quietly, not really paying you close attention for a few moments before he asks, "For what cause did you choose to aggravate me so in the Chamber of the Dragons?"
Hmm?
Did I stutter?
Uh,
Gut reaction is to ask, did we choose? But we did.
I mean, you asked us the question and we answered. I answered.
I
Yeah.
I think we maybe answered
They
from
sort
the
of went.
heart,
They sort of went a little hard.
but chose a tone that was a little confrontational. Yeah.
Just slightly.
Well,
Well, you kind of don't remember what he said, but he said something that was off-putting.
yeah,
I
you
can't
were
recall. So.
very confrontational and it you got very offended when we said we didn't want to be part of tea anymore.
Yes. Yes, I did. It was a gut reaction, but I think a justified one. I worked very long and at great risk to myself, including death on multiple occasions. Thank you, Mother. To build an empire that I think is worth having a certain level of pride about. So the idea that you would now wish to voluntarily separate yourselves from it, well, it's perplexing to say the least, and seems to fly in the face of the efforts that I have put in. I, that sounds egomaniacal, to be honest. It is not simply I, but my brothers and sisters, my nieces and nephews, my children and grandchildren, and my reverend mother. Why do you seek to leave tea?
May I be blunt?
I would find it ordinarily I'd find it refreshing, but out of the lot of you, I quite think that it is the usual state of affairs, but hardly be it for me to disabuse you of speaking such to power.
I do not it it's not your work or the work of your esteemed mother or your nephews and nieces that we have objection with.
And children and
From
grandchildren, brothers and sisters, don't forget them.
yes, it's
Mm.
there's a lot of you, and I'm not saying you haven't worked exceptionally hard, but from what I've gathered, you've also worked very hard to create a distinction between what is your purview and what is the purview of the humans who live here. You have created a distance, and there's a certain extent that is left to the government, to the people, and they are the ones who have failed us, not you. And you can't control that. You can't change what people are or how they use the tools you've given them. You've done your best to equip them as best you could, and they still failed us, and we would like to separate ourselves from them.
He looks at you for a good while. His eyes, pupilless as they are do not reveal much in the way of emotion, but there is a certain searching in them as he looks at you. That is both in a way comforting and incredibly angering. In what way failed you?
Um,
I mean,
Tell me all. I do not pay very much attention to the East, as you might have guessed. This is the first thing from my general realm of interest. My dealing with humans is primarily in recording the goings of the West, having my agents bring the information of the world to my fingertips to enrich my own edification and in murdering the odd cavalier. But other than that, I personally take very little interest in the affairs of our actual government state. Would you kindly explain in detail the nature of your problems with the imperial throne?
for well, I wouldn't put quite as a failure, but I guess some probably would. But for me, it's that T and Hanno have become significantly different entities in our cultures and our peoples and our lands.
You're not unlike the rest of the empire. Empires are made of different peoples and lands and cultures with unifying factors. And we do have similar cultural pillars, similar cultural tastes. We are not the same, but there are similarities. Why now, after so many years of integration and togetherness, should Hadno feel the need to pull away?
okay, out of character. Just to make sure that I understand the reasoning here, because I feel like a lot of this developed before I showed up, and I sort of got a crash course, but not details. Um, the general idea is that the shogun was sort of allowed to run rampant and do whatever he wanted, and there really wasn't much, if any, support from T, except for like bureaucrats being like, "Wait, no, don't rock the boat." Um,
Yeah,
that's the gist that I got. And that you guys have sort of had to fend for yourselves, take action yourself, and there really hasn't been any support or even recognition other than when the shogun wiped out the Ivory Army, and even that was sort of just ignored.
yeah, sort of.
To be fair, it wasn't so much ignored by the central authorities in T as it was covered up fairly effectively
Yeah.
for
It's
a
like
good long while.
mhm.
Ah.
Because we've like you said, there is still much that connects us, but T considers us part. like they don't really consider us a part of them. More like a, I don't know how to put it. It's hard to phrase.
They've
Like
become too.
we serve them, or it's not an equal relationship.
Yeah, and they've become too
And
bogged
then
down in bureaucracy
and
to.
everything that happened with the Shogun and how he was able to take over while the T didn't really do anything about it for 20 years.
Is that really such a long time?
It is for
Plus, yeah.
humans. Yeah.
Hmm. I suppose.
I don't want to be an enemy of T, but I don't want them to be our masters. I prefer it to be friends, a friendly relationship where we could hopefully work together.
I would not want anyone to be people's masters. You then do not feel either protected nor free in T.
No.
No, there's sort of it's like a feeling of conflict when it feels like T has to be satisfied, but it shouldn't take priority over the issues that are going on between all the islands and everything. Like, I don't know.
I see.
The hard emotion to put words to. Distinctly.
You feel cast aside.
Yes.
I begin to see your seeking to leave T, not as seeking to leave per se, but as simply recognizing that T has already left you.
Yeah. I guess that's the best way to put it. I want
That,
Hadno to. Oh, sorry.
that raises the somewhat I think there's a fairly obvious follow-up to that. What if T were to no longer divest itself of you? Occasionally, the Tian government's uh, wheels can be slow to turn. That I know as well as anyone. But they do turn. Eventually, they react. And surely now that the central government is taking on the threat of the shogun, once he is defeated, T will take a renewed interest in Hadano. Wouldn't it be thus reasonable to maintain the current relationship to reap the benefits of that renewed attention?
Mm. My dream for Hadno, and from what some of the daimyos I've talked to, of what I believe as well, is that what I want for Hadno is a Hadno that stands for his people and doesn't have to put those aside for what T's interests might be if it comes to it. A Hadno that is for Hadno, I suppose, in a weird way, for its people. And I don't think that can ever be the case as long as we're still a part of T.
I am not sure I agree. But I understand the virtues of self-determination. As you will. I accept your apologies for earlier, and I will not necessarily oppose your recommendation to the Emperor.
Oh, I do have one more question.
Please.
Have you met Namboku?
No. What is Namboku? Or who is Namboku? Or
He's
where is
A
Namboku?
guest.
he's a guest in the Imperial Palace
Oh,
that
then
we have
how is Namboku?
a troubled past with, you could say.
Oh,
Yes.
well, that's unfortunate.
Yes.
Too bad you're no longer on under TN protection, otherwise I might be inclined to do something about it. That's a joke. Please continue.
Yeah. I mean, you might be inclined to do something more about it once we tell you his deal. He's a vampire.
I thought I
A
smelled something
very
strange.
powerful one.
He's a vampire. He's a
Yeah.
vampire.
And also a very bad one.
That those are all things that seem to go hand in hand.
True.
All right. Interesting.
I know Singling
For
Mon's been trying to keep an eye on him as well, but yeah.
she's been more proactive than me. Embarrassing. All right. What do you mean he's a bad one? That's a very generic thing to say about vampires, quite frankly.
Yeah. Well, God. There's been a lot of things. I guess the most recent thing is what we were dealing with is that he tried to kill a bunch of kids and then
That's
drink their blood to obtain power because they had the attacking of Logos, a bunch of elemental aligned people were born because
my
of the
dear. You
plans getting
speak to
shattered.
one who was there.
Yeah.
Yes,
He's,
I
Yes.
do.
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
anyone would know, these people would know.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, the four kids were aligned to the four primary elements, and he was trying to
Oh,
yeah.
they were elemental plane touched.
Yes.
Interesting. And he was trying to use them to acquire his own connection to the elemental planes then?
I believe so.
Interesting.
Is that
Theoretically, I can
right,
see how
Kasumi?
that could be done.
Pretty sure, yeah. Although I don't think it would exactly work, but stranger things have happened.
But yeah, he was trying to kill them and drink their blood and a bunch of shit.
He's like a
The
bandit
mysteries
king.
of... Oh, I'm sorry. Please.
Oh. Oh, he's just like, isn't he also like a bandit king?
Yeah, that
Doesn't
too.
he have like a whole, yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
interesting.
He would attack towns and stuff.
Yeah. Not a very good guy.
No, he sounds like a jerk.
Yeah. Usual evil vampire stuff.
I mean, again, that is...
An
When you say vampire
oxymoron, I
stuff, that
guess.
doesn't really... no, it's just redundant. An oxymoron would be the opposite. So if you were
Ah.
to say a good vampire, for example.
Jumbo shrimp.
I mean, hey, there might be.
Ah,
I
very
don't know.
good.
I've never met one, but I shrug.
Elevated subway. Military intelligence. Anyway, this Namboku character then sounds like a threat. And to answer your musings, Lady Kasumi, I believe it was, yes?
Yeah.
Very good. I am no expert in blood magic, but there is power and vitality stored in vitae, and vampires, by rather necessity, have become fairly good experts in it. Is this man a mage himself that you know of?
I think he has some talents with it, but
Yeah, I think he was doing some pretty nasty blood magic stuff.
yeah.
Interesting. Perhaps he took the idea from someone else. That would hardly be out of the ordinary for such creatures. Likely a more arcanely adroit vampire thought of the idea, and Namboku happened upon it and took the idea for his own. I imagine the original creator is no longer among the living or unliving at this point as well. These are just musings. I'm sorry. You thus would want to kill this creature, yes?
Yes.
Good, good.
Prefer.
We're on the same page.
That is, if we can permanently kill him, because I think we did kill him once before, but he just came back.
Congratulations. Vampires have a habit of doing that, yes.
Yeah.
Well then, the way to kill a vampire permanently, universally through the many different variants of vampires. Also, that is actually a query. I noticed that you've been referring to him as a vampire. Is he a Jiangshi or is he one of the other kind?
He's one of the other kinds, like with a coffin and whatnot.
Yeah,
Wasn't he?
Jensen
Isn't he
like
a TN
missed.
themed one? I can't remember.
He is not.
No,
Oh, okay.
no, because otherwise he'd be hopping around or
Oh,
something.
He
true,
would be
true.
hopping around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the other kinds. Yeah. He had missed coffin.
Ah,
Yeah. A whole bunch of stuff.
Things, mind control. Yeah.
Yeah.
so interesting how there's so much variation within a single type of undead. Maybe one day I'll make a study of that. Maybe I'll do that right now. No, I have to focus on this. You then need to kill him while he is in his coffin
Hmm.
in a notably specific way.
Oh, I don't know if we knew that part. The specific way?
There
Is it
are
a stake?
specifics to destroying a vampire of his kind.
Is it a stake to the heart?
No, that
Oh.
will paralyze him.
Okay.
Ooh.
He'll just keep him
Whoa.
stuck there.
Yes.
Okay.
Which, if you wanted to keep him around for later, then you could just do that. But I'm not sure
Sure.
why you would.
I think in the past we made an attempt
We could
at
we could
his
we could
coffin,
we could
but
throw
we
his
were
his
tricked.
coffin into the bottom of the ocean and keep him paralyzed down there until inevitably 100 years later somebody finds it and then
And releases him, and
yes,
and nothing has been solved.
and he swears revenge on our descendants.
Some of your friends might still be alive.
That too.
I'll still be alive. I'll see this happen and go, wow, that was the most useless expenditure of effort I've ever seen. No,
So
what
yeah,
you need to do is to murder him very good.
very good.
You need to hack off his head
Oh, okay. I was
after
figuring.
paralyzing him with a stake
Okay.
and stuff it full of holy wafers. The exact kind does not matter, but don't use unholy wafers. For one thing, I'm not entirely sure if such things exist, but if they do, they are not suited for this purpose. So you get those blessed wafers, just stuff them in that mouth, and then you bury his head. Dead
Okay.
permanently.
Oh, okay. The head
think.
isn't still alive. Oh, okay.
No,
Okay.
he will never come back. His body will decay normally,
Okay.
if I am correct. Which I probably am, because I'm a thousands of year old scholar.
Can I knowledge religion that just for the hell of it?
Sure. And indeed, Asai, you also know how to kill vampires. Yes, that is a way of murdering a vampire to death.
Nice.
If someone were to later unbury the head and stick it back onto the body and take the stake out, it would not resurrect. It'd just be a corpse.
Okay, cool.
You also know that the other way to kill a vampire, potentially the easier way, depending, is to just let it get exposed to the sun.
Also an
What if we just
idea.
I'll kill it real fast.
Why don't we just stake him so he's paralyzed and then let him get exposed to the sun?
That would also work, yes.
Hmm.
I mean, that's... I suppose that is less work.
Does
But
magical
where's the fun
sun
in
count?
that?
There, typically, no.
Okay.
Unless you were to actually create a aperture to the sun itself, or simply to a side of the planet where the sun is shining, and actually shine the light of the sun specifically upon him, it will not harm him. The sun itself, the celestial body, is what has the power here, not simple light.
Okay. Must be the real sun. Yeah.
Also, with the stake thing, recall that stakes are made of wood,
Mm-hmm.
and wood burns.
True.
And when a vampire touches sunlight, they burn intensely.
True.
The stake could potentially be incinerated and free him to movement before he is wholly destroyed.
That's true.
It takes about 20 seconds of sunlight exposure for a vampire to be annihilated.
Could you like really waterlog the steak? Just get a really like a wet piece of
Let's get it
driftwood
just
would
really
work.
wet.
That
Yeah.
could work, yes, thinking
Ooh,
about it.
And
that's fun.
oh, wait. We don't even need to do that. See, here's the
What?
thing.
Yeah.
While he's burning,
Yeah.
I just pour like some gentle water on it. Because I can
On
do
the
that.
steak?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Hmm. The water would have to get down into the wound
Yeah.
that the stake is sitting in.
The part of it in him will probably be burning. So, yeah.
Hmm.
Oh.
Just do it away from here. Wood feeds fire, and I don't particularly want that all up in my scrolls.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Oh, right, the second basket. Yes. So here, he folds up a scroll, pours a bit of wax upon it, and seals it. Take this. Actually, wait, let me put it in a case. Thump. He screws the case together to seal it. Yeah. You may keep the case, as you will. Unless Senlin Ma keeps it, in which case it's hers. Don't try to take it
Okay.
back from her. Or do. It's really none of my concern. The what was it? Oh yes, the baskets here. And he leads you back into the outer garden where the leshies from earlier have finished putting together a second basket, also filled with gold and jewels. And this time an arrangement of various tropical fruits. No, no, not fruits. She wants booze, not fruits. The one of the leshies speaks up in a sort of very high pitched sort of voice that Hai Zhangwo listens to and goes, "I see. Yes, it would be better definitely than to give her the chief stuff. And this way it looks like I put thought into it, which I am right now. All right. Your baskets are prepared, as
All right.
is your letter of apology. You are interesting humans, and an even and human of elemental interest. You are interesting mammals.
That works.
Do our best.
I, Zhang Wo, considers you such. Know that this is a boon. And with that, he turns and walks back into his inner chamber, and the trees close behind him.
All right.
Me, 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 me.
You said it, Leshy.
Who
The
wants to carry the basket?
two baskets. By the way, these things are filled with gold and jewels in addition to wine and fruits. So these things are pretty heavy, actually.
Yep.
And none of you are really the high on the strength scale characters, so you may need to like split
I
it
can.
between the two of you. Or call Pascal.
That's
I can. I can lift these gift
Yeah.
baskets. Ah!
I do not have Ant Hall prepared today. I'm sorry.
I mean, Sada, you lift the gift baskets. It's actually really impressive.
Nice.
You do like a curl with them.
Now let's go really quick.
Right, yeah, you start waddling off with the two gift baskets. The fungal Leshy follows you along. And when you get far enough, it waves to you and it puts its hand against one of the trees, and a curtain of thick vines closes off the inner gardens of Hai Zhangwo's Palace of Wood from the outer portion in which you now stand. All right, now where do you do? Where do you do? What do you do?
I had to sing back to sing one.
Senlin Ma?
Senlin
Yeah,
Ma.
Singling Ma, yeah. With these two baskets while my arms are falling off.
Yeah, Sada, you feel like your arms are falling off. This is not going to work. You get about another 50 feet or so before it's just like, no.
Sada trying to take all the groceries in one trip.
Yeah, if it was just from your car to your house, it wouldn't be so bad. I mean, it'd still be difficult, but this is like going all the way inside, or going all the way from one palace to another, and along a sort of somewhat circuitous route. It don't work. But together, the lot of you, splitting them between yourselves, are able to make your way back to Senlin Ma's palace. You find the dragon pretty much where you left her. She is chatting with the functionary from before, looking over some maps as another bureaucrat is reading something to her from a scroll. She stops them both as you approach, looking up at you and going, All right. What have you learned about the vampire?
We learned how to kill him.
Yeah, we learned that.
We mostly attended to the gift basket issue.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now
you
that
did
I
that
realize.
first.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, all right. Oh shit. Yeah. She finally did like it dawns on her that what you're carrying is. Oh, I. Wow, we actually did. Okay.
And there's a written letter of apology.
Oh. Oh, she takes the scroll and the tube, unscrolls it, unfurls the scroll. Ah, it smells of intransigence and defeat. I'm going to frame this. Okay, bipeds. You've proven yourself pretty effective, at least in talking to us.
It's true. We seem to talk to a lot of dragons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can keep the extra gift basket. Leave the one with the booze with me. I don't care about the fruits.
Okay.
And yeah, you need help. You call for Senlin Ma.
Okay.
I might, maybe I'll even show up.
We told him about Namboku, by the way. That's how I found out how to effectively kill him. So maybe if we can tell the whole extended family, maybe we can convince Xiao together
She
that
nods
he's
and goes,
not good news. I don't know.
I'm surprised he wasn't asking about him earlier. You must smell him too.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Well, you all did a very good job. Thank you very much getting me my gift basket and
Mm-hmm.
more importantly, this letter of apology from my insufferable older brother. You are excused from my presence.
Did you want to try to? Oh wait. Aside, did you want to try to do a big screen scrying? If Senling Ma
No,
will
we can
allow
do
it.
that somewhere else.
Okay.
We've been dismissed.
Okay.
Let's leave on a high note with at least one drag.
Okay.
She waves with her. She doesn't wave. She does like the curled finger wave at you with her clawed gloves before returning to what she was doing,
All right. And I guess that just
which
leaves.
appears to be knocking her way through these various um, bottles of booze.
I guess that just leaves one Taidun and my brain is fucking up with all these dragon names. I gotta
Oh,
get them down again. Feng Wu, yeah. Here, let me get them all down again. I
The
already had them all
notes.
down. I forgot I did. Yeah. I had Great
Mm,
Golden Dragons, yeah.
I could share my post-it note, but you are in Canada.
yeah, notes are
Yeah. I forgot I
super
had them
good,
written down
but you
already.
have to remember that they're there.
Yes. But yes, yeah,
Uh,
Duan Ti Dun and Feng Wu.
and Zhao.
And
Yes.
Xiao.
But yeah, I'm convincing the other four and maybe hopefully having them help us convince Xiao would hopefully help us out.
Well, maybe we should at least try to talk to him first before staging a whole family intervention, so that way at least he can't say you didn't come to me first. We
Okay,
can be
yeah, true.
justified in
True,
staging
true.
a whole family
Yeah.
intervention.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess let's go back to the others first. Fill them in on everything.
Mhm. All right.
And this big
With that,
gift basket we have filled with gold and fruit.
with that, you
Maybe some
return.
golden fruit. I don't know.
You thus make. There is actually one golden fruit in there.
Nice.
Indeed, these are fruits from the great dragon of wood. Looking at them, they are like the Platonic ideals of these fruits. Now that you actually examine them, they are each perfect, fragrant, exquisitely ripe, and one of them is an apple made of gold,
Hell
or
yeah.
at least colored gold. It appears to be literally so.
I wonder if that works like the Minecraft apple.
Yeah. It's got it.
What does the
What?
Minecraft apple do?
It's like just gives you super fast HP regen or something, I think.
Ah,
Yeah.
so it's not quite the Garden of the Hesperides. Um, all right. Yeah, you bring that with you to uh the um the chambers in which you have been given your the chambers that have been given over to you.
Okay.
Sorry, that got away from me.
We're back, everybody. First good news, we got this really good fruit basket.
And your party turns to you, as does Chancellor Zhao, who is sitting amongst them.
Oh, hey Zhao, you're here.
He smiles just slightly, just the faintest of uh smiles as you enter. Goes, yes, I live here.
Oh yeah, it's true.
That
Does
is
the
a wonderful fruit basket. I'm
Yes.
sorry, I didn't mean to speak over you.
this is just a question for the GM. Does the rest of the party, how do they look? Do they look uncomfortable? Do they look chill? What situation did we just walk into?
Akio looks drunk.
Okay.
The rest
Normal.
of the party, or rather, Pascal, Clemenza, and Batfire look a little stiff, but otherwise comfortable. As in, they don't feel like they are. They don't look like they feel they're in danger or anything, or having an uncomfortable conversation. They look like they're on best behavior for dealing with an important person. Gadaris is very charming looking.
Yes.
He is currently Gulpo Newton.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he is sitting next to the um to the chancellor, and when the chancellor does make his little pithy observation, he goes, "Aha, you card." The chancellor looks at him with the
Oh boy.
just like a slight the smile is sort of like slightly strained
Yeah.
by a feeling of like discomfort.
Oh no.
I was
I mean,
wondering when you would return. Been having a lovely conversation with your companions here, but I understood that you had decided to explore some of the palace yourselves. I hope
yeah,
it's all been
and
to your liking.
we got roped into doing some gift basket back and forth with Sangling and
Ah,
yeah,
Kai Zhangwo's
yeah,
apology gift basket.
yes, that's where we got the second
I'm
one because she wanted two, and then she said we could keep the second one after we got an apology letter. It's a whole thing.
Would you like some fruit?
I would like a fruit. Here, let me have that pineapple, please.
The whole pineapple. Oh.
But
Oh,
yes,
no, I'm not that greedy.
uh,
He takes um one of his uh, gloves off, um, and there's sort of like a flash as he does so, and his fingers would no longer really quite fit in the gloves after it's removed, as they are now tipped with very sharp looking golden claws, which he uses to very quickly and efficiently strip off the outer portions and top of the pineapple and slice it into a number of even slices that he then places onto a empty platter that happened to be sitting in the middle of the table. The with a second sort of golden glow, the claws recede into his hand, and he puts the gloves back on. I assure you, I wash my hands regularly.
Yeah, I would figure. You seem like the guy, kind of guy I would.
Yes. Um, who rolled sense motive? Oh, Rita Monderson's kitchen for a pear or something. Okay. Um,
Anyway,
he anyway, indeed.
well,
I
the
hope
bad
you weren't
news is
waiting too long.
there was bad news
Mm,
I was going to tell, but this can also be rolled into because there's something we had to talk to you about, Zhao.
There's oh,
Yes,
did you?
you have a
Uh,
guest here in the Imperial Palace.
well, actually, I have multiple guests, including yourselves. But
Yes,
is
uh,
did one of
that's
them give you cause for offense? I
in the past. Yes,
to explain.
Namboku.
Ah,
Yes,
the vampire.
yes,
He nods. You were one of his past victims, then.
yes.
I am very sorry for any harm that he may have caused you. I understand that he once was most cruel.
You
You can
believe him
say that.
to be a changed man?
He has done performed such actions as to give that protestation credence. Yes,
Might I ask what actions?
vampires are very vulnerable to fire. It damages them severely. Namboku, evidently in an effort to prove his reformation, rushed into a burning orphanage and saved 3 dozen orphans from burning.
How chokes
Did
on the
did
pear
he?
she's eating.
Hmm.
Did you see
Yes,
this?
I watched it happen.
Are you sure he didn't set the fire?
Yes, I am sure he did not set the fire unless he did psychokinetically from walking along with me.
Where was this in the city? This was
Yes, it was in the city of Tianjia.
uh
We have fairly
well,
good fire safety records, but a lot of the buildings here are built out of wood and
Because
can prove to be
our
flammable.
last encounter was
uh
him trying to kill 4 orphans.
yeah,
Yes,
specifically so he
Yeah.
could uh claim their elemental powers such as fire. Uh
Earth, air, and water.
yeah, of course, but the orphanage part is interesting. Also,
The
he was also a sort of bandit captain. He had a crew that would work under him and often under some sort of mind control, so he could have had an accomplice set a fire on an orphanage. I mean,
Hmm. Perhaps.
Essentially, he has a history.
That much is very clear, as I suspected from his nature, though to know its full depth of depravity is startling. But yet, he has not given me cause to doubt him. And I know for a fact that the inimicability of death towards life can be overcome by those undead with the capacity to still think and to
I mean,
feel.
I can believe it, but I'm not sure if I believe it if Namboku would. I don't know.
it's sort of the kind that took pleasure in cruelty. How was it that the two of you met initially? Just by happenstance? Did he come to the palace seeking? I
Yes,
don't
he
know.
did.
Mm.
Has there been
Sanctuary.
have you seen a very big lady trying to get to him?
Very big. Oh, that must
Huge
be the
sword.
person that Chamberlain knew. Well, from what it was described, she wasn't a very big lady. She was, from what I understand, a quite muscular lady, but Chamberlain knew only suggested that she stood about 5'6".
I mean, she's big in the sense that she's very muscular. Yes,
Then yes.
yes.
I myself have not encountered her, but Chamberlain knew uh did Namboku did alert us that she had been chasing him for his apparently justifiably so, but she did not reach him until I had taken him into the palace, and so she was turned away at the gates. I am told that it took some convincing, even when confronted with a score of guards. Chamberlain knew himself and the twins, but convinced she was, and so she left. I am, to be quite honest, not entirely sure where. I don't take much time to spy on the people of the city.
If you want to know why he hasn't done anything, that's probably why. Because the moment he steps out of here, she'll probably try to kill him,
Mm,
and he knows that.
well, then it seems like his threat is fairly mitigated.
Hmm.
You have given me much to think about regarding Namboku's past, but even as that may be, surely you don't think that he should be denied all opportunity for penitence.
How long has he been here?
Few months, I think.
Okay. How how much of an
Maybe,
opportunity
but not
do
in
you
such a
want to
life of luxury. I would say.
I mean, he's been here a few months, that's time to at least start being penitent, and he's still mind meddling with the concubines.
He is.
Yeah,
Of this I was not aware. They did not tell me. Likely
Well,
because they
because
got
mind
mind
metal.
metal. Yes.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
That makes sense.
He's the kind of
Um,
guy that you need to keep an eye on. Yeah.
hmm, I'll have to speak to him about his backsliding. Then the threat of the large woman. Does she have a name?
Tsuru.
So we
Tsuru.
Suru. Good. I prefer to refer to her as such rather than just large woman. Um, understand that in this city this is a very large city. Could potentially refer to a number of people, including my sister,
Hmm.
who altogether, from what has been described, is substantially larger woman,
Sure.
or a larger woman. I'm venturing very close to Hai Zhangwo's territory, and that would be ill of me to do.
You mean it as a compliment, though, and he meant it as an insult.
That is true. My sister is very proud of her physique. To fact that, which makes the fact that Hai Zhangwo would even use it as an attempt at insult even more laughable. He must truly have been how to put this? Uh, well, frustrated in the moment. I suppose I have you all to thank for that.
Mm.
Hee hee.
It's too bad. I rather suspect my sister would have had some sort of excellent comeback if I had not stepped in at that moment.
She was planning a fist to the face.
Yeah.
Ah. Well, I mean, that's obvious, but violence is
Yeah, it
only
was a whole
one
thing.
step. It would have had to included some sort of pithy one-liner.
Yeah. Yeah, one of those.
That was
You
good.
told us. Yeah. I'll let her save it in case she decides to use it again later.
Good idea. Well, you've given me much to think about, Mr. Namboku. I wonder if you have done any thinking of your own while you were here. You are now seated in the heart of power of the greatest nation in the world, one that considers you a vassal and would continue to consider you a vassal. You would potentially have the ear of the emperor. I know at this juncture you seek to leave our empire, and my heart is heavy at the knowledge that you have good reason to do so. But potentially, if you were to choose to remain, you could markedly affect imperial policy more than any Hadanese before you, simply by speaking to a single man. Something to think about.
We'll see what happens.
Yes, we will.
Mm.
It's all we can ever do. Though, of course, after we make moves to affect it. Anyway, I am going to retire to my chambers.
Okay.
Please do not feel forbidden from approaching if you should desire to do so. And in fact, Senor Pascal, excuse me, Don Pascal, if you would like to um, engage in some exercises, I am sure I could learn much. The rest of you, please enjoy your evening.
Can
Yes,
I sense motive how convinced he is about Namboku?
sure. I mean,
As
you can sense motive about anything.
okay.
Nice.
I just before he walks out of the room, I wanted to.
Mhm.
That's a pretty good sense motive.
That's a really good sense motive.
Eh. I have a plus 34.
You rolled an 18 then.
Am I getting more typing?
Secret typing.
Yes, this is Matthew Mercer walking around the table to whisper in your ear.
Brought to you by Dwarven Forge.
Okay. Chancellor Zhao thus leaves you in your chambers. Pascal looks up at you,
Hey.
past the snoring Akio. He was actually a really nice guy to talk to. How about you guys? Did you find anything neat? Where'd you get the big basket from? Do you want me to take that from you?
From High Sangwo. Well, actually, it was from High Sangwo to Senlin Ma, and then she told us we could keep it, and she'd keep the one with booze. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Piece
That's too
fruit.
bad. Oh, fruit. Hey, there's a apple made out of solid gold.
I
Yeah.
don't know what the deal is with that.
I don't know.
Should we, like, is it magic?
Is it eatable, or is it made of gold?
Can
It feels like a normal apple. It's only as heavy as a normal apple.
Can I investigate the apple?
Yeah. Where's my
Would that be a survival check?
It would actually be knowledge nature.
Knowledge nature. Okay. I'm not that good at that one, but
I am.
all right.
I used detect magic on the apple.
Time to shine, Kasumi.
I rolled a 2.
Detect magic on the apple detects the apple as magic.
Whoa.
Oh,
You guys,
That's
it's a magic apple.
Holy shit.
Kasumi, your knowledge nature brings up. You recall stories of golden apples that grant wishes.
I think this might be a wish apple, y'all.
Whoa.
Okay, if this is a wish
pretty
apple, we
wild.
have to be really.
Let me
We
hold
gotta
it.
think. No, we gotta think about
I'm
this.
gonna
If this is a
eat it
wish
and wish for
No.
1,000 boreskins. No.
apple- Well, what?
We're gonna
Look,
start a new market.
it's a running trend. I got a wish once, and I wished for 10 boreskins because I wasn't thinking about it.
Okay.
Pascal holds the apple away from Sada.
You guys weren't there for it. I met a magic boar that talked. This happened like way back when we first got the Sarugu.
you met a boar, a magic boar that talked, and you asked it for the skin of its people?
Yeah, well, I was hunting boreskin for the dumpling lady. And then the last boar skin I needed was a magic boar. It was a magic boar. And the magic boar, if you spare me, I'll grant you a wish. And I wished for 10 boar skins because I wasn't thinking about it. And then, yeah,
You had 19 boreskins.
I had 19 boar skins. Yeah,
What'd you do with the surplus 9?
sold them.
Ah,
Yeah,
Did you?
didn't
I
even bring
don't
them to a
even recall.
craftsman. Make some boots.
I think I sold them. I don't know. It might be rotting away somewhere.
This is still in your inventory.
We could all have matching boarskin boots.
Not Kasumi style.
They
Yeah,
would
and I
get
got magic
waterlogged.
shoes.
Anyway, yeah. Besides that, yeah, Namboku's here. So that's not very good. As I'm sure you overheard us talking.
Namboku.
Yeah.
He's that nasty
He's the
vampire.
vampire.
You remember him? Don't you remember him, Pascal?
I remember, yeah, no, I do remember fighting him. He's the guy who he came into our home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right, he did. Oh my god.
He called
not
me a
good.
big titty boy
Oh
toy.
my
Yeah.
god, he did! Holy shit! That's right. Oh my god, that's where. Oh my god.
I was more focused about the orphan thing, but that did happen. Yeah.
Pow has flashback and gets real mad. He's in our fucking house. Oh my god.
I was self-conscious about my chest for about
No.
10 seconds.
Hey, yeah.
Then I was like,
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
I fucking am.
Yeah.
It's a
It's my
compliment.
boy. But yeah, no, he sucks.
Yeah, no, he
Oh.
does suck.
We might be able to convince them to let us kill him.
He's so sick. I feel like
I mean,
we should leave the killing for Tsuru.
Senlin Ma
So
and Hai Sang Wall
her
are on
kill.
our side about that, but yeah, I don't know. Zhao seems pretty convinced that he can be he's changed, but I don't know about that.
How
I
do you
mean,
think that burning orphanage went down? What happened there?
I don't know. Maybe he did actually. Maybe he actually did find some elemental orphan to fucking
That's
eat.
what
And
I'm worried about.
yeah,
Is that he ended up. He's been on the run for a while. Like he could have siphoned some juice out of some guy,
I can
got
see
some
this.
firepower. Does it have to have been a kid? I don't remember the logic, or is it just because
I
it's
don't know. Probably
convenient?
not.
Ah,
It's blood magic.
Blood magic. I can't explain shit.
I would have thought, though, that being chased by Suru would have made it difficult for him to, like,
Yeah,
do a weird ritual like that.
that's true. He could have just brainwashed somebody into
he
setting
might have
fire
just
to an orphanage.
set a long fuse or something, and timed it perfectly.
Hmm.
Wow.
Maybe. Okay, so here's my thought. He actually did it honestly, but he did it for the purpose of convincing Zhao that he is
Oh
reformed.
yeah.
Also, that
If there happened to have been an orphan fire,
perfect opportunity.
wow, what a lucky guy.
Yeah,
That's wild if that's the case. Oh my gosh.
which I mean, hey, maybe he can repent, but I don't think doing it with a life of luxury with concubines, serving your every
No,
sexual need is really the repentant lifestyle.
I mean, didn't he like literally say like I'm here because no one can hurt me when I'm here. It's sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he came here for a reason, and then one way or the other, no,
no,
made it happen.
like
Is there a mirror in this in our chambers of residence?
probably. Why? You want to see if he's actually a vampire?
No, is it worth 1,000 gold? Can I scry on him at this moment?
Oh,
Oh.
Just like see
Hmm.
what he's up to.
maybe.
Do you want to see what he's up to?
Probably not.
He might just
But-
be fucking.
Might just be
I mean,
something.
he might be, or he might be panicking because he knows we're here and we just talked to Zhao.
I don't know. He seemed. Well, I wasn't there, so I can't say he seemed smug, but from the sound of it, he seemed smug.
Oh,
Well, it functions for an hour per level, so I could cast it and then just like check in on him at varying times, right? Or do I have to observe him constantly for 16 hours?
I forget exactly how scrying works. It is a specific person, or can you just use that 16 hours to basically scry on who you need to and change the focus?
It is a person who, okay, I can observe a creature at any distance. There is a saving throw. Because I'm just using basic scrying. You can
Right, so
observe
you're
a creature
using
at
it
any distance. If
on
this
a
is
creature. So yes, you could
Yeah.
observe a creature up to 16 hours if you so choose.
Okay.
You don't have to observe the creature for that entire hour, but the ritual is such that you you would have to follow it for once you end it, it's ended.
Ah.
Oh yeah, is there any mirrors that will work on here?
Yes, there's a very large mirror on one of the walls. It's very impressive looking and looks as if it could be used for your purposes.
All right.
It's perfect.
Do I want to expose everyone to what we might be seeing?
I can handle it.
All right, let's do it. I've got approval from the boss. Let's see if he'll probably make the will save, but at least
If he's fucking, he'll choose not to.
since
mean,
I've
he wouldn't
met
be
the
aware.
subject, he gets a +0 modifier. Or do I know the subject well? Nah.
You just
'Cause-
know him
Yeah,
because you've seen him. You
yeah,
haven't had an in-depth conversation with him.
fair enough.
Okay, what's the DC?
This is a 7th level spell, so it would be. Let me check my document. 25. So probably make it, but
Oh my god, he's burning down another orphanage.
Oh my
Whoa!
god.
Yep, he's burning down another orphanage. How'd you know? No, he's not. You, after a moment of focus, tune into Namboku. He is not in the midst of lovemaking.
Yeah, maybe next time.
He is alone in his chamber, it appears. You don't hear any other voices. And though your focus is on him specifically, and you can sort of rotate the camera to look around him, it's always pointed towards him. And anything further afield from a maybe 5-foot bubble around him sort of blurs out. But you can tell that he's still in the same chamber, judging by the decor. And you recall seeing the sort of dresser armoire that he's currently stood next to. He is pouring a large glass of a red liquid from a red stoppered decanter, or a red decanter with a stopper, exquisitely made, wrapped in a golden mesh, with a golden stopper at the top in the shape of a heart. He finishes pouring it into the glass. This is not a tin vessel, it should be noted. This doesn't match. This looks foreign, northern perhaps. He chugs it down, leaving a red residue within the glass before looking into the mirror above the armoire, naturally seeing no reflection there. And then, with a sudden roar of anger and frustration, he punches the glass into the mirror, shattering both. The shards of glass left sticking out of his hands. He then turns, leaning back against the armoire. He licks some of the slowly drooling blood from his wounded fingers. The lack of pressure evident in its languid escape. As he does so, his eyes flicker upward, and he looks directly at you. And he extends a single finger from his wounded hand towards your
Oh my
magic
god,
eye.
what finger?
First, the pointer, then the middle one.
Yeah.
And as he reaches out with his unwounded hand, he makes a grasping motion, and your vision collapses
Well,
and disappears.
that wasn't much.
Oh. Was that frustration directed? It wasn't directed at us. It was just directed at something not being satisfactory about the juice.
It didn't, to Asai, it did not seem like he was reacting to the juice.
Oh.
The juice actually seemed to be the most calming thing in the situation.
Yeah. Should I roll an additional sense motive?
Sure.
I probably can't. Like, long distance sense motive, I'm stretching here, but
I mean, you were watching him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you saw his body language and everything.
I rolled low.
Yeah, but I mean, he wasn't exactly being guarded with his emotions. He's apparently frustrated that you're here, you would have to guess,
Huh.
and that he's been confronted. And just in general, it seems. But you do know that it wasn't, he wasn't angry with the juice. At least. And that's where we'll leave off for tonight.
Damn. Yeah, it's 10:30 already here.
Mm-hmm. It's
I'm gonna
9:30
take
here.
that.
Yes. I didn't even realize. Jeez.
Put my hand to Namboku's forehead, and then I stand there for a moment, and they say, "He's afraid."
Hmm. Namboku replies, "No, I'm fucking not. Get her hand off me.
He's afraid.
He's afraid.
Stop saying that, you weird lady."
1v1 me, bro. I swear, me mum. All right. I will talk to you guys later. Good night.
Tonight was a night of pithy
Oh, yeah.
rejoinders,
Yeah, it was fun.
both ones that land and ones that were unfortunately prevented.
Jake almost got struck by lightning.
Jake almost got struck by lightning.
Yeah. It passed by really fast too.
Yeah,
Like-
this well, the storm did, yes.
Yes.
Hmm.
I kind of like. I wish I had turned off my noise cancellation before like it went away, so they could hear the shit that was really close because it was wild.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah, we did
Anywho,
hear a little bit.
yeah. I
Um,
need to go fix my router though, because my Wi-Fi's still down.
oh,
Oh
rats.
heck.
Yeah. So I'll talk to y'all later.
Okay.
Right.
Have a good
Bye.
night, everybody.
Good night.
And oh, the meme.
What? Oh, the
The
memes.
memes.